Bridge Deer here. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a Sims 4 build challenge because I am obsessed with those right now, but also I just have not been feeling the best this week. I've had a lot of stress, and my Crohn's started acting up really bad the other day, and then before that, my EDS was acting up and my knees felt like they wanted to evacuate my body. So yeah, we're just going to go with a simple video. Hey, you can see some of my previous builds there. But yeah, did I even mention, I don't think I even mentioned that the challenge that I'm doing is a color one, where you build a house in only one color. I chose yellow for this, and well, black too. Well, it's yellow and black because there was a few things like trim that didn't come in yellow, and I wanted there to be trim on my house, so there's kind of like a default. If it doesn't come in yellow, it will be black, but I tried to use black the least amount. And yeah, this beginning part, if you haven't already noticed, I tried to make it a tiny house and it ended up not being such, but I'm actually going to be skipping ahead soon and speeding everything up so it doesn't drag on for the next 3 hours, because I feel like this build took me forever. Alright. This roof was obnoxious. It was awful. I hated the entire process of it. I hate roofing. Usually I just throw it on there and call it good, but this one I kept changing over and over and over again because it never looked good, and eventually I just cut all of that out because I just didn't want to see, well, I didn't want people to see that I was struggling so much. And then this was the first idea I had of the house, where I wanted to make it a sweet little yellow granny house with its cutesy little columns, and like it was going to have like doilies everywhere. But that changed swiftly when I got to the roofing and realized that there was no good roofing for a sweet little granny house. So I decided I was going to make it as obnoxious as I possibly could, because my second favorite roofing was this awful yellow thing here. And so going right for the doors and realizing I hated every single yellow door possible. I think I spent a total of 20 minutes in real life trying to pick a door. And I thought I wanted this one at first because it was ugly and I hated it, but yeah, as you can see, I could not find fencing that matched that door at all. So my third plan was Bumblebee aesthetic. And oh wow, the music just cuts in randomly right here. That's okay, whatever, we're just gonna leave it, I think. If it's not there when you actually watch the video, it's because I decided I didn't feel like editing it out. But it's kind of chaotic, and I kind of like it right now. So, we're going to see a kind of jump right here, yep, right here, where I'm just kind of throwing us in the future. As you can see, I chose that kind of like wood-worn looking yellow outside. It has a black brick underneath, has a little black porch now, and this bright yellow fence that doesn't go with it at all, but I wanted it. I put the windows in. The windows took me forever to do, so that's why I cut it out, because I exchanged between like 6 different types of windows, and I hated them all, but this one had a little bit of black on it. Honestly, I think I used a lot of the university pack in this build, for whatever reason, because usually I avoid the university stuff because I don't like it that much. Lately, I've been using a lot of eco lifestyle, so fair enough. At least it's, you know, a pack I use. You can see me doing all this landscaping back here. I swear, there actually is a lot of yellow plants. Not a whole lot of yellow bushes, but whatever. I usually use a lot of bushes. But I usually, normally when I build houses, I actually don't do this like backyard lot thing. But for some reason in all these build things, I don't know, I want to show off or make it look like I know what I'm doing. Not sure which one it is, but I do backyards. And this patio tile here, it says it's yellow, and I might have dropped out of art school, but something tells me that isn't yellow. It's beige, but I don't know, it was in the yellow category, so I decided it was going to work. Oh, here's my like brilliant struggle of this build, was just this backyard patio table. Like, I love these chairs, and then I go to the tables, and there's no table that matches them. So I kind of went with that one, so I wanted to keep the umbrella. And now, as you see, we're just jumped right inside. I had already painted the walls and picked the flooring, because I feel like that's just boring for me to watch. Well, not me to watch, but just in general. The living room, I realized, was too tiny, and that this TV was blocking this window, and I just decided that's how it's going to be, because I didn't think through any of the internal parts of this house, because it's still technically a small house, so it's on that tiny living scale. And I found out later that tree is actually facing through a wall, but I don't notice this at all through the entire build until like the very last second. So if it bothers you, it bothers you. But yeah, I don't know. I want it to still be on the tiny living, like, I don't know, just a small house, small something or other, because I like the challenge of it. But putting furniture in it was hard. I also wanted it to be a house for, like, a small family, like 3 people. And I kind of made that work. Also, hate all these rugs. I don't know. So I actually don't like the color yellow, so maybe that's why I hate all those yellow rugs. And I didn't realize I accidentally left a rug sitting by the ladder there. Which, yeah, we have ladders now. Also, this kitchen is abysmal. It's abysmal. I hate it. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't want to put any of the cabinets against those windows because I wanted the chairs to be there, but then I realized I left no room for any other cabinets in this house. And I thought about just moving the bathroom, but like there was nowhere else to put the bathroom in this tiny house if I wanted there to be a second bedroom upstairs. Because I think you might be able to see it on the top in the blue there. I think I have like 94 out of 100 tiles. I'm pretty sure it's 94. I can't tell right now in my recording. Actually, really, who cares? But yeah, so I really didn't have much room to fix any of that. And at least these cabinets are my favorites because they have matching toppers and they also come in obnoxious colors. And I was excited about this table actually because it matched this hideous floor perfectly. And funny enough, I think that floor is actually to the vampire pack, which I used similar flooring, I think, in the bathroom, which you can't really see, so I cut out a good portion of the bathroom. It's just using a lot of, I forgot what pack it is, Get Famous, I believe it is, stuff in there. It's just like the matching bathroom pack in there. Yeah, I just don't like bathrooms, and it was just okay. I did think it was kind of funny that their bathroom was extremely fancy and the rest of their house isn't. And then here we are going to the kids' room. Well, we're doing lighting right now, and that's, I don't know if it's just me, but I freaking hate the lighting in Sims 4. It makes me mad. I think I complain about this every Sims 4 build, but whatever. There actually were quite a few beds I wanted to pick from, like to pick from for the kids' room. And I understand their wallpapering is minimally yellow, but it was in the yellow swatches, and I kind of just wanted something a little different. One room to have slightly different wallpapering than the rest. And I wanted them to have a desk, and I like this desk, the one that's in there right now, but there was no way I could fit it in there. I mean, I could have moved the door. I didn't think about that at the time, but, you know, this tiny desk kind of works out. And here I go, going through all these desk chairs. I wanted that first chair, but I realized I used it several other times in this build, and, you know, need to move on from my favorite things. Or not so favorite things. Actually, it's not really a favorite chair. It just happened to be a favorite chair currently. And I'm sorry, there's a car passing my window right now. I forgot to close the window, like I normally do. And now that I see it, I don't know why I put a violin in there. I actually absolutely hate the musical instruments in this game because Sims never put it back down exactly where you had sat it. So they'll leave it like in front of doors, in front of other objects, and they'll get stuck. And I had a Sim almost die because I wasn't paying attention to them, and they sat their guitar down right in front of them, and they almost starved to death because I kept telling them to go get food, and then I just would go play with another Sim, and yeah, that was my rant. That was my thing. I deleted it, as you can see. I put a little stuffed animal there because that made more sense to me. And actually, like, my other frustration was this. I have move objects on, but I forgot the controls to, like, fine-tune it, so I just ended up not going with that dresser and just going with, I think one from University. It looks like University to me, but I could be completely wrong. I didn't like it. I liked other ones better, but the spacing in this room, again, like the rest of the house, is awful, and I wanted it to have some pops of color, and after a while I was like, I don't even care if this room matches. I was done looking at yellow, and yeah, I feel like anyone who does this build is like this. I just try to imagine the family in this house were, like, quirky or something. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to match. I don't know what I'm doing with the curtains here. I had an idea in my head, and about 20 minutes into it, all these little picture frames. Yeah, I couldn't tell if I wanted something really, really funny, or actually be serious. I think I went with serious. I really wanted to put this, like, yeah, that llama painting right there because I thought it was funny. Oh, did I keep it? I think I did keep it. Oh my god. Yeah, I did. I'm literally looking at the screen right now. And then, yeah, rugs. I'm really bad at rugs. I'm not really sure how to place them 100% of the time. I just know I want them to break up the color, like the spacing of everything. I usually put them partially under the bed like that because I'm like, yeah, that works, right? Please tell me I didn't go with that rug. Oh, it looks like I did. Yeah, I realize now that the curtains that I chose are definitely, like, not the same as what's on the back wall with the llama picture. And you know what? We just went with it. Also, when I did move in some Sims to show off the house, and I could not get the controls to work. So here's the living room. We're just going to look at it from this view. Here's my tiny kitchen that probably they all can't fit at once. We have this tiny bathroom over here where all the Sims are probably going to be fighting. Got a little cutesy ladder. Our kids' room with, you know, that goldfish staring, you know, right into the kids' sleeping face. As you can see, I have a garbage can outside. Yeah, and this really quirky, like, parents' room. So here we go. Yeah, here's the back. Yeah, that was the only garbage can available that came in yellow. So we're going to end the video here. Everyone stay safe, stay as healthy as you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!